Hi, I'm Marco Mazzoni, an illustrator from Italy, and today I will show you how to create a draw with chiaroscuro technique. In order to do that, I will add black color to create balance between the black part and the white part, so the shadow part and the light part. Now we start with the practice part. I have this kind of face and I will work inside the drawing to create the perfect shapes and the perfect shadows. A face is a skull with a flesh. When you think about skull, your shadows inside the face are better. For example, if you think about the hole that you have in the school and you draw a track of him inside the drawing, it will be more easy to draw the shadows of the eyes. In a hole there are different shadows. If I think about the skull, I can understand where the cheekbone is. For a perfect black and white part, it is more elegant to draw a black background. I do it only with this pencil. The only tip you need to know is that you need to give a heavy touch when you color that part, like this one. You need to give more pressure with your black pencil to have more black. When you work with a black background, it's better to have a smooth paper because you don't have the problem of the texture of other kinds of paper that give you this kind of little white point. If you work with a smooth paper, you can have a perfect flat black. When you work on black background, remember that everything is more intense and the eye of the viewer is for the subject only. I will do one half of the background in black and another one with a more lighter color, so you can see two kind of effect we can have. If you want a work with a dramatic point of view, is perfect. But if you want something with an atmosphere more soft, black background is not your good choice. I will do two different backgrounds, one more lighter and the black one. To mix better the two backgrounds, I will pressure really lighter the end of the part in black, so you see that you can create something like a nuance from the black to the other colors. If you have a light that arrives in one point of the face, for example in this case, you need to recreate the same light and shadows inside all the elements of the composition, so your composition will be more unified. If you see this kind of lily inside the face, you know that the light arrives from there. You need to create something like a little shadow here, and your shadow part of the flower will be here. A tip for the mouth: this part is always more darker than that one. When you draw in black and white, remember to put more black inside this one and not in this one. You don't need to close the down part of the lips, because the sensation of the mouth is better if I have not this kind of lines. When you have a lot of space and your end of the pencil is always the same, is to divide the part you want to color with the black in squares. You will have the same movement inside all the black space, because the tension of the black is always better if it's the same for all the background. Remember that I do this kind of shadow here to be sure that the light is here and the shadow part is there. The nose will be more darker than the rest of the face. If you will see a lot of paintings or faces, you will see that the nose will have a more darker color. Now I need to take time to finish it better for you, because this takes a while for me. I hope you have enjoyed and learned from my advice. If you have more questions, you can leave a comment below. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn more about chiaroscuro technique, check my Domestika course.